speech that I really served my purpose here today. I'm only here because of the love that I have for you guys. I went through a tragedy back in 2013. In 2013, my daughter was hit by a car, and she almost lost her life. She was given a 10% chance of living. She went to UMC. They had to do a brain surgery on her where they took a piece of her skull off and they put it in her stomach, and they had to wait for everything to come back. We didn't know how she would be neurologically. I'm sorry, I'm not a scientist, obviously. But I had to watch my daughter go from being a baby all over again at the age of 6. And it really gave me a different impact on life. It gave me a different outlook on life. It made me having a different appreciation on life. It made me have an appreciation and a value for you guys' life, because I truly believe that you guys are our saviors. I truly believe that. I truly believe that if you can tap into your potential and you can figure out your purpose, that you can do great things on this earth. And I need you to do great things for me. I got children, I have a mother, I have a father, and I need them to have as much good connections and much good positivity and as much expertise as possible. Who knows what you guys are going to do with your life? But I'm going to tell you right now, you have to reach for the stars. And I know it sounds cliche, reach for the stars. A lot of things I'm going to say in the beginning is going to be cliche because I'm going to get deep into my life. And those are going to be the stories that are kind of going to be a little edgy. But you're going to learn a lot from them. I haven't graduated college yet. And the reason why is because life hit me. Life hit at a young age. When I was in college, I was playing college baseball. I was doing an amazing job. I had a 3.5 GPA. I was going to San Bernardino Valley College out in San Bernardino, California. I worked really hard. I did amazing things on the field. But sometime during the season, about 3/4 into the season, I ended up experiencing an injury. And I remember back in the days, people used to always ask me, they used to say, what do you want to be when you grow up? I always told them, I want to be a professional athlete. I was always the best in every team I played for. I was always treated real good. I never had too many bad seasons, so I never thought of anything else. There was no plan B for me. All I wanted to do was be a professional baseball player. Well, that changed. In college, that changed. That injury that I had was a hairline fracture in my hand, and it never healed. It never healed. I never was able to get back on the field. Also, during college, I ended up making some decisions. I want you guys to be aware of decisions that I made, because I'm not going to act like I'm a perfect person. You're going to learn a lot from my mistakes as well. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you guys. So a lot of decisions that I made, they set me back. And we got to be very, very aware of the decisions that we make. And it's kind of like throwing layers on yourself. And in order for you to free yourself when you get older, you got to remove those layers. Well, just in college, I was already having my hardest time. I was already going to college and studying. I was already playing baseball. But then I ended up getting my wife pregnant. That ended up being another burden on my life. And as much of a blessing it is for me, as a 19-year-old that's trying to chase his dreams and trying to better his life, it completely slowed me down. Completely slowed me down. It completely changed the whole goals and dreams. But when I stopped playing baseball, I was lost. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And when my wife told me she was pregnant, I had to stop going to school. I had to get a full-time job to take care of my son. I always wanted to be there for my kid. My dad wasn't there for me. Matter of fact, I watched my dad when he was there in my life. I watched my dad beat up my mom every week. I'm talking about black and bluer eyes. I'm talking about cuts, bruises. I'm talking about my dad driving my mom out to the desert to leave her out there for dead. I remember going to middle school when I was about your age, just your age, dealing with those problems at home, but coming to school like it was just the coolest thing, like nothing was going on. I'm pretty sure some of y'all can relate to that. Where it's a whole bunch of chaos at home, and you come to school and you got to put on a false face. You got to put on a smile. You got to wear it. You got to be motivated. You got to inspire yourself. I've been there. I've been there when I was trying to talk to the adults and they wasn't there to talk to me. They didn't engage in my conversation. They didn't engage in the things that I liked. I've been there. My mother and my father, they let me go live with my grandmother. And at that time, I thought living with my grandmother, I thought my mom and my dad just didn't want me. I thought they didn't care about me or anything like that. Not realizing that my mother and my father, they were trying to give me the better life, and my grandmother was the person who gave that life to me. When I lived with my grandmother, it was the most safest time. I mean, I loved her. She treated me so well, she spoiled me. I mean, I had candy all throughout the day, and I got a little fat when I was with her because she cooked so good. But that's, that's grandma. But see, as I got older, though, grandma passed away. And when grandma passed away, where was I going to go? I went back to mom. And life was totally different. My mother is a beautiful woman. My mother has dedicated so many things to me and my sisters. I got twin sisters. They're at the age of 28 right now. But my mother has done so many things, but my mother has also made some decisions that have put me and my family in situations that I don't desire. And it's not a situation that I wish for my children or that I wish on anybody else's life. See, what I got to get you guys to understand is that we don't pick our life. We don't pick our parents. Did anybody choose to be here? Anybody choose their parents in here? Did anybody choose to be born when they was born? You wasn't, right? It's just kind of luck of the draw, right? You got what you got. I got what I got. But see, what I had to understand also was that I had to make the best out of it. I had to make the best out of my situation. I had to find all the strengths and all the good things about my family that I loved, but I also had to learn from their mistakes. When I saw people going to jail, I had to figure out what it was that they did and not repeat those same things. I had to look at my life totally different. When my cousins was gang banging, I had to look at that like it wasn't the thing to do. See, I come from an era I'm in the 90s. I was born in 84, but I'm a 90s kid. So back in the 90s, I'm gonna tell y'all what the image was, and this is how the media pretty much puts it into you. I mean, it just happens the way we see things. But the richest person in my neighborhood was a drug dealer. Richest person. I'm pretty sure somebody knows somebody, but that's it. The richest people in my neighborhood did the wrong things. They did negative things. And me being a one, I wanted those things. So it made me want to do negative things. But see, I had a OG talk to me, pulled me to the side, and when I was trying to get involved in gang life, an OG told me that this ain't the life for you. He told me, inspired me, he told me to play ball. Don't give up. Don't be like everybody else. You got to be different. You have to be different. If you see somebody next to you, your friend, your best friend, your brother, your cousin, even your parents, if you see them constantly getting in trouble and dealing with negative situations and dealing with negativity in their life, you have to be different. You got to get away from pain. If you ever want to know when you're feeling like if you're really having pain or not, just pay attention to what you're attracted to. Pay attention to the type of cartoons you like watching. Pay attention to the type of music you like listening to. And I'm gonna tell you that music that you listen to will tell you everything about your personality. Because you can't be happy and joyful and be trapping. You're talking about killing. It just don't work. We got a much bigger purpose in this world. And a lot of people have misguided, misjudged, just completely missed the mark. A lot of people have chased money. They've chased material things, not chasing the right things. You got a lot of children walking around that don't know who their parents are. You got a lot of kids around here that don't have a mentor. I'm asking anybody in here, please raise your hand. Do you have a mentor? If you have a mentor, raise your hand. See, that's about 2% of the class. And when I ask you about a mentor, you got to figure out who your mentor is. See, I didn't have a mentor growing up. And as I got older, as I started studying more, I started figuring out how important it is to have somebody that truly believes in you and pushes you. Because we all have that thing inside ourselves that we pretty much self-defeat ourselves. We don't think that we're good enough. We think that we're less than. We think we're too fat. We think we're too ugly. We think that we can't be ourselves. We think we gotta look and be just like somebody else. But that's not true. See, I don't want to see nobody that's fake. If you come around me and you fake, I don't want to know you. But if you come around me and you're your authentic self, that's who I want to know. I want to know what it is that's your passion. I want to know what it is that you desire. I want to know what it is that you live for. What are you trying to change in this world? Anybody here know what they want to do when they get older? Right here.
A video game designer.
Video game designer. That's excellent field because video games is taking off. Right? You a gamer? It's even opportunities to make money gaming now. Which whatever you do, you stay dedicated and stay focused. And I promise you that if you reach for the highest of heights, even if you miss, you're going to be successful. Who else want to share? Right here.
I want to be a doctor.
You want to be a doctor? You're going to be a doctor? You're going to be a doctor. How are your grades?
Good.
They're good? All right. Are you trying your hardest? Every day? Every semester? You get better every year. Every year get better. But we need people like you. I need people like you who have that type of purpose. Why you want to be a doctor?
Because my mom had cancer when I was younger.
Okay, so it's something that you dealt with in the past. Same thing with me. When we deal with certain things that are pain in the past, anything that's painful right now is going to energize you later on in life, I promise you. But don't let whatever you're dealing with destroy you. Who else know they want to be?
He said he got one.
Right here, what you got?
I want to be a doctor for sports.
Okay, a sports doctor.
You want to be a dancer?
All right. You play any sports?
Yeah,
What sports you play?
football.
Okay, you pretty good? But you know you want to be on the doctor side of it. Yeah, that's the most safest side of it, and that's the most, they make more money than the players. Anybody else? Right here. A little louder. Yeah, I don't know what that is. What's that?
She cannot hear you all the way down.
Oh, quiet. Okay, quiet. You ever been to that little reef? I like it. I just took my kids there. Oh, you got seasons there. I went to the place out in Long Beach. It's like an aquarium. You ever been there? Yeah, that's the most awesome spot right here.
Basketball.
Right here, basketball. You tall. How tall are you? All right. How long you been playing? All right. How often you play? How often do you play? Okay. Who in here play an instrument? All right. Instrument. Who real good at playing an instrument? Really, 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 really good. Right here. What you play?
Electric guitar.
Electric guitar? All right. Who else?
Percussion, the
Percussion? All right. And then you?
I play cello.
The cello? All right. You say you real good, all y'all? Mm-hmm. All right. Listen to this. Check this out. This is a little lesson, and y'all know this is ABCs, but I got to remind you. All these people who say they doing something, playing a sport, say they real good. When you first started, who was real good at that?
No.
Is anybody real good? It took practice, right? It took a lot of practice.
Yes.
It took sacrifice. When you wanted to call, probably wanted to call your friends, you wanted to turn up, you had to practice, right?
Yep.
When everybody else was having fun, you had to practice. Mm-hmm. You got to practice. Practice is it's evident. You need to practice every day, no matter what it is that your passion is. Your passion is going to fuel you. It's going to fuel you. When I used to play baseball, I used to play football, that was my getaway. That was my escape from my family life. That was my escape from home. So when I get out there, that became my passion. That became everything that I love to do. So I dedicated my life to that. I dedicated my life. And when you dedicate your life to something, it's different. It's something about making a commitment. Who know what a commitment is? Right here, it's a commitment. Gonna do it. Anybody ever made a commitment to themselves and then didn't follow through?
Yeah.
Huh? Everybody should raise their hand. Did anybody make a commitment to themselves, say they was gonna do something and didn't follow through? Mm-hmm. Anybody said they was gonna be on honor roll this year and then they not on the honor roll? Yeah.
No.
Told your mama, yeah, mama, I got you, mama, this year. Give me them Jordans, mama. I promise you, give me the 2 Jordans and I got you, mom. Y'all was gonna be on honor roll, but you didn't do it. Why do we sabotage ourselves? What happens in life? Sometimes it might be a tragedy, right? Or sometimes we might just give up. Sometimes it might be a tragedy, sometimes we might give up. You got to pay attention to yourself, pay attention to your decisions. Because if you make a commitment to yourself and you lie to yourself and you let yourself down, you will sabotage yourself. You will start to hate yourself. I promise you, you will start to really feel less than about yourself. You will start to feel like you're not disciplined, you're not good enough. That's where those thoughts come from. When you set your mind on a destination and you got a plan and a goal ahead of you, you do whatever you got to do to get there. Especially if it's something that you love. Especially if it's something that you adore, that you're passionate about. You got to put your all into it. See, I'm pretty sure anybody got all straight A's in here? Anybody straight A's? 2, 3, 4. All right. Straight A's? All like 3%. Anybody got 3.5? 3.5 GPA or higher? More? 3.0 or higher? All right. All right, not enough people raising their hands. See, we're not applying ourselves enough. You got to look at yourself as greater than what you really truly believe. You got to focus. You got to prioritize. Y'all get out of school and you go home. What do?
Go to sleep.
And you're supposed to really be right back grinding, doing your homework and then having fun. See, a lot of times we don't prioritize our life right. We want to entertain ourselves a little bit too quick, too soon. And we think that it's only going to be a 30-minute show. We think it's going to be an hour show. That hour turned into 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Sometimes you come to school and you're tired, first thing in the morning. Anybody here just dreadfully tired right now? Yeah. Anybody go to school after 12? Go to sleep after 12 o'clock last night? That's not responsible, right? That's really not responsible. Y'all should be getting y'all rest. Because y'all need all the energy that you got to have all the energy that you can have to really make the best out of your 24 hours in a day. Hey, check it out. Listen up real quick. Y'all got to make the best of your 24 hours. And how are you making the best out of your 24 hours? If your actions are not according to what your dreams are, what your passions are, what you're trying to be when you get over, you're not going to be coming. You're not going to be coming. A lot of people sit there and say they dream and they wish they want to be something, and they don't have that type of work ethic. They just don't have it. When I wanted to be a baseball player, I didn't get focused until college. And by the time I got in college, I wasn't even prepared to be as focused as I was and got hurt. It wasn't for me. God bless you. So focus, whatever your dream is, whatever your passion is, just practice at it. If it's basketball and you know you're not the best out there, don't try to be the best. Just be the best you. That's all you got to do is be the best you. I promise you, if you practice all summer, come this May, the 20th, 28th, when you're out, and you practice all summer, you're going to come back as a whole different person. If you work on yourself this whole entire summer, on your mind, your mental thinking, putting positive messages in your mind, working out. Anybody want to be in shape, want to be healthy? It ain't no magic pill to that. It ain't no magic pill to that. It take hard work. Listen, you might be skinny and look skinny, and you might be the most unhealthiest people in the world. You have to have good health. Your good health fuels your good brain. I'm going to tell you, it don't matter how happy a person is. It don't matter how rich a person is. If a person is sick, their life is miserable. So focus on your health. Man, eat right whenever you can. Eat as much as you can. Exercise as much as you can. Do as much as you can for yourself. Make time for yourself. Try your hardest and try your best at everything you do. I'm going to tell y'all a little problem that I was once having back in the days. I used to have a problem reading. Anybody here love to read? Love to read, yeah. Who read very often? How many books you read probably in a year?
In a year?
Yeah.
Oh, a lot.
A lot? A lot. Check this out. Until I was at the age of 30 years old, I told you I went to college. I was a great student, but I never read a whole entire book until I was 31. 31, I didn't read a whole entire book until I was 31. And the reason why I didn't read books is because I always told myself that I couldn't do it. I just told myself I didn't like doing it. But also I used to have this problem, right? Where I used to sit down and I used to read, and I'd be reading the words on the paper, and I'd be thinking about everything else. What happened at school today? What my sister and my brother doing? What's going on over here? Anybody had that problem where they trying to focus on something and their mind just drift off and you can't focus? Everybody, a lot of people. So I'm going to tell you what I did to help me. It was the weirdest thing, but this is what I did to help me. When I went through my most hurtful moment in my life was when my daughter got hit by the car, right? I had to figure out how was I going to deal with that pain. And as I started dealing with that pain, I started listening to a lot of motivational videos and encouraging words, just things that was telling me that I was better than what I thought I was. But then I also started reading and hearing them say that I need to start reading more books. But as I started needing to read more books, I identified the problem that I was having. I was wondering, how can I get rid of this problem? So I started meditating. Anybody here meditate? Meditate? I meditate every day. I can't go a day without, going a day without meditating is like going a day without food for me. I must meditate. I must clear my mind. I must hear the thoughts that's going on in my mind because the mind has a whole body of its own. Mind has totally different thoughts. I promise you, if you sit here and you meditated right now and you just tried to figure out what you would think of, you couldn't even think of it. Thoughts just come in out of nowhere and you can't control it until you learn how to control it. And that was what I had to do. I had to meditate every day until I learned how to control my thoughts. Until I learned how to make my mind focus on what the task was at hand. You got to train yourself to do stuff like that. That just don't come naturally. You have to train yourself to do that. If you ask majority of successful people in this world, they're going to tell you that they meditate. That's what they do. So if you ever want to try to meditate, go on YouTube. Everybody watch YouTube, right? Yeah, go on YouTube. Check this out. YouTube is a great resource. You can learn a lot of stuff on YouTube. A lot. That's why I learned how to meditate. How to meditate. 5-minute meditation, 20 meditation. All these kind of different meditations. I had to study it. I studied it for about 2 or 3 days, and I became an expert at it within like a month. I could sit quiet and not move and do anything for a whole hour. That don't make me a great person, but it makes me greater within myself because I can focus on this. I can come into a speech like this and I don't get nervous anymore because I've learned how to identify with those emotions. Meditation, I've meditated when I was mad and I sat there in my anger and felt it. I felt it. And then I started realizing why I was having the problems that I was having with my anger. And the reason why I was having problems with my anger is because I was so reactive. I get mad and react right away. You say something about me, I'm saying something about you. Not even realizing, I can't let nobody else play my God. Why should I let another person tell me, say something to me, and completely control my emotions and my actions? I had to learn that. Nobody taught me that when I was younger. Nobody told me that don't let people make you mad none of that. Nobody told me. I had to learn that. So when somebody make you mad, somebody talking bad about you, somebody being negative towards you, you don't got to react to them. Kings never, I'm going to say right now, kings never come down there and talk to peasants. They just don't do it. So you got to look at yourself like a king or a queen. Why would you stoop down to somebody else's level who's sad and depressed? Who probably hate their life? Who probably can't even stand their home life? And they come to school and they bring their pain to you. Why would you let them people affect you? You never know. They probably just left home and their mom just slapped them and now they got all this anger. They can't beat up mom, so now they want to come and pick on the smallest kid at the school. Y'all got to pay attention to them type of people. See, one thing about bullying, y'all got a problem with bullying here? Some people do, some people don't. I'm going to tell you one thing about bullying is that the person who's bullying, they got the most problems than anybody. If you ever ask a bully why they bullying you and they would give you an honest answer, you probably break down and cry. That bully is probably getting beat on at home, neglected at home, not being fed, don't have nothing, getting locked in the room, don't have no type of social interaction with anybody. Hurt people, y'all know that? Y'all know that? Hurt people, hurt people. If you ever been happy, you ain't trying to hurt nobody. For what? You kicking it, having a good time. Life is good. But when you mad and you hurt, the first person that's in your way, I'm telling you, that energy, you're going to transfer that energy right on to them. So you got to learn how to be accountable for your energy. Y'all ever had anybody walk into a classroom and they just brought a whole bunch of negative energy in the class? You know they walk in. You know it's not going to be a good day. Y'all got anybody in the school that when they come in the classroom, come in the lunchroom, they always got to make a show? Negativity. Be conscious of them people. When a person coming into your area and they got all this negative energy and they come into your aura, you gotta separate yourself from that situation. Because a person's negative energy it'll come and feed off right onto you. And now you got that negative energy. And now you're gonna transfer that negative energy to somebody else. And then it's just a ripple effect. That's why we gotta be conscious of our decisions. We gotta be conscious of the way we feel and the way we think and what we believe in. What's really our intentions in our interaction with these people? Am I trying to uplift the person or am I trying to put them down? I always tell this story about Orr Explorer. Anybody watch Orr Explorer when they was younger? Yeah. Y'all still watching? No, when you was younger, don't act like you didn't. All right, if you wasn't watching Orr Explorer, you was watching Go Diego Go, right? Something like that. Yeah, right. The reason why I say something about these cartoons is because I love cartoons. It's always symbols in cartoons. I got a 6-year-old daughter, but when she was 3 and she was 4, that's what we used to watch, Orr Explorer. They used to teach her all kind of things. Where the square at, where the 1, 2, 3. But before my daughter could even count to 10 in English, she was counting 10 in Spanish. That's how powerful a cartoon is. But as I'm watching this cartoon, I'm paying attention to Dora. And I'm looking at the symbols. And one thing about Dora, she always got her friend with her, right? Who's her friend? Boots. I like Boots, right? Boots is cool. Boots is that's her BFF, that's her dog, that's her ride or die. Anything that Boots go through, or anything that Dora go through, Boots go through with them, right? Right? Boots go through the bad times and the good times, right? They go through the grumpy old troll that lives under the bridge, Dora right there. Swiping, no swiping, he right there. They trying to go through some trees, some hills, whatever it may be. Whatever the obstacle may be, her best friend is right there. And I like Boots, because Boots ain't never got no negative energy. Can y'all stop playing, please? Thank you. Boots ain't never got no negative energy. They come across swiping, no swiping. He not like, get away from me. He like trying to tell Swiper, look, man, you shouldn't be stealing. You shouldn't be doing any of that right now. That's how Swipe, that's how it works. And you got to choose your friends like that. You got to trust your friends. You got to choose friends that you truly believe in, that you truly trust in, that you truly have faith in, that you know that when they're around you, that all they do is give you good energy. That they're not getting you into any trouble. You're not having to suffer. You're not having to get on punishment, losing all your resources at home, video games, none of that. You got to really choose your friends wisely. Because if you choose the wrong friend, they're going to put you in the wrong situation. See, when I was younger and I was at the age of 13 to 14 years old, my friend, I went to spend the night at his house. And he had an older brother at the age of 16, 17 years old. And we had a nice little neighborhood in Rialto, California. And when we lived there was an older white lady who lived at the corner house by herself. And one of the friends had a cousin come out from L.A. and they was spending the night. Matter of fact, I think the other parents wasn't doing too good. And then the other kid came down and came and stayed with the auntie. Anyway, they was from Compton. There was a negative influence. They said, hey, the old lady went to sleep. We just going to run in her house and take some stuff. Right? They asked us all, 4 of us, hey, who want to come? Right? We all with it at first. But as we sitting there with it, you got to pay attention to the conscience and those feelings and that voice in the back of your head. Some told me don't go. Some told me don't go. And I was able to convince my best friend, who was actually the same age as me, my teammate, I convinced him not to go either. All 3 of the dudes went. When they went, we stayed there, we played video games, they never came back. Why they never came back? The next morning on the news, we heard about the story about what happened. And it was crazy what happened. That's why you got to be careful who you hang out with and your decisions and what you do and how they influence you to do it. One kid made a decision to go and rob an old lady's house. When they go inside the old lady's house, they go in there, they grabbing the jewels. They thought the lady was asleep. The lady was walking, she heard something. She was walking in the kitchen in the dark. One of the guys heard her. They got scared and frantic. They ran out the house, bumped into the lady. She hit her head on the floor and busted her head. Now all 3, each and every one of them, not just the person who ran into the person, but every person who was in that house committing that crime, they all got life in jail at the age of 16. So you willing to lose your life over something so stupid? Over bad decisions? How much money could have went there and got? I don't care if it was $50,000. It ain't worth it. Your life? We had to go and visit his brother in an orange jumpsuit every week. It was one of the worst things we saw because their brother at the age of 16, he was one of the best baseball players that played at Eisenhower High School. And he lost that. Everything lost. Brother lost. How you think their mom felt? How you think the auntie felt? How you think that with everybody, with the whole family had to go through it? Pain and hurt. You got to be careful and be conscious of your decisions at all times. Another thing I always preach is I don't tell people this majority of the time when I do my speeches, but I challenge people to talk to their parents and also to get CPR certified. Anybody here CPR certified? All right. The reason why I say get CPR certified, this is a passion of mine. I always say this. The reason why I say get CPR certified is because you never know who you got to save. When my daughter was hit by the car, when she was 6 years old, I had to give her CPR. When my daughter she flew 100 feet away and I went to go check her, no breath, no pulse, no nothing. Nothing. My daughter was dead. All I remember is that all my training that I had been CPR certified since I was 17 because I was a lifeguard on the strip. And that was where I had got my skills at in CPR. I didn't know that was going to save my daughter's life one day. So I challenge you, if you got parents and they not CPR certified, motivate them to get CPR certified. But also you get CPR certified too. My daughter's not the only person I saved. I also had to save my grandmother. When my grandmother had a diabetic attack and she passed away, CPR was able to give the paramedics enough time to get her to the hospital to be able to revive her enough to where the family was able to say bye. It's just those moments that you can't get back. You just being prepared. If somebody needs your help, another thing is put your cell phone down. Put your cell phone down. If they need your help, put your cell phone down. They need you. They need your assistance. And if you was in trouble, you would want somebody to help you too, right? You never know where that help's going to be. You never know when you're going to have to be the hero. You never know when you're going to have to say the day. You never know when you're going to have to get that word of encouragement of belief. When a person has forgotten and they hate themselves. I went through a time in my life where I hated myself. And I had to encourage myself every day. I had to look in the mirror every day and tell myself that I love myself. When you don't expect for your daughter to get hit, you don't expect for your family to experience any type of tragedy as a man and you there. So for my family to experience that and for me to be there, that hurt me. That destroyed me. I had to look into the mirror every day and say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. You are strong, you are smart, you are motivated, you are encouraging, you are better than, you are this, you are that. I had to speak those words into myself because in my mind it was playing a whole different song. How could you? Why would you? God, why me? I was playing the victim. I was playing the victim. I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think I was good enough to come out here and speak to children and inspire them. I didn't think I was good enough. And if I didn't think I was good enough, I wasn't getting up off the couch to do it. Value your life. You only get one. People think that YOLO mean go out and have fun and party and live it up. Nah, YOLO don't mean that. YOLO mean you need to get your stuff together right now and value the one life that you have. You got to grind. You got to be serious. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and believe that you are better than. You got to believe. You got to look at certain type of people and say, look, I shouldn't hang around people like you because I'm not going to get to where I want to be in my life. Your life is very valuable. I got people that's 30. I got friends that's 30, 31, 32 years old. They still don't know what they're going to do for the rest of their life. They don't know they don't even know what their dreams are. I come from a generation where they just taught you to work, and pay the bills. And pay the bills. That's what they taught my generation. Go to school, but work, get a job, pay the bills. Y'all get an opportunity to change the whole world. Y'all have no idea how much power y'all have at y'all hands. Y'all are so much powerful than what we used to be when we was y'all age, when we were younger. The technology that y'all have, the information. Listen, if you don't know the answer to something, don't ever go a day without figuring it out. You come across something you don't know the answer to it, look it up. Ask. Google it. Don't be ignorant. Because I'm going to tell you what happens when you're ignorant, all right? When you're ignorant, your whole culture will be taken from you. You end up speaking a language that's not even your language. You don't know your religion. You don't know where your people came from. Matter of fact, when you're ignorant, you become a slave and you don't even know that it's slavery. You have no idea. Y'all have a chance to be so free, to live life and do whatever y'all want to do. Y'all can make money doing whatever your passion is. Y'all at a time right now that if you're real passionate and educated about something, that if you just go online and you talk about it every day, you're going to have somebody that like the same thing you like, and they're going to follow you because you're the face of that passion. Start figuring out who your mentors are. Start figuring out who it is that gives positive messages that relate to your spirit. That it just sounds good. It just feels good when they talk, when they give you encouraging words. Somebody that you can relate to. Find those people. My person that I found was Les Brown, Lesbrown. He was a motivational speaker, and at a time when nobody was encouraging me, I went and looked up every video of his. I bought every tape of his. I bought every CD. I watched every video. I read every book. Everything that this man put out. And it changed my life. I used to be so selfish, only self-centered and cared about myself. Not no more. I'm trying to figure out what I can do to spark this world to be better. So if it's speaking life into one of you, and you become the greatest you that you can be, I did my job. I accomplished my mission. So you got to figure out what it is that you're passionate about. I don't know how much time I got left, but if anybody got questions, please feel free to ask me anything. And I'll ask, last thing I want to close out with before I end my speech too, just think of your question if you have it, is, ladies, I always end my speeches like this. Don't let nobody control you. Don't let nobody tell you what you gotta do. Don't let nobody take nothing. Don't let nobody have any type of control of your life. Don't let them back you up and put you in a situation you're not comfortable in. Don't ever do anything that you're not comfortable doing. Even if you feel like you gotta do that thing to make this other person happy, don't do it. Don't do it because you're gonna hate yourself for it. It's gonna bother you on the inside. There are women right now that are adults that are in pain because of the pain that was inflicted because of other people. And always speak up. If anybody is doing anything wrong and they shouldn't be, you gotta speak up. You have to. It's too many families that suffering because they hide secrets about the uncle or the brother in the family who's the pervert. Okay? Y'all gotta speak up. Because if you don't speak up, you letting it happen. And if your mom and your dad not doing it about it, then you need to tell your teachers. If your teacher's not doing it about it, you need to tell the principal. If the principal not doing nothing about it, you need to call and write a letter to the mayor. But you need to call the post, whatever you got to do. But don't let people violate you. Don't let people have you doing things that you don't want to do and that you shouldn't be doing at a young age. Young men, this is my advice to y'all. Look, listen. Don't ever let nobody take away your freedom. Your freedom. Don't ever do anything that compromises your freedom. That's all we got. If we can't be free and be free to be ourselves and who we are, then we'll never unleash our greatness. We'll never unleash who we meant to be. We're gonna miss the mark at all times. Life is serious. Life ain't a game, it's not a joke. It's not about entertainment, it's not about having fun. It's not about that. But when you work hard, and when you become strategic, and you become successful, you get to have all the fun you want to have. So with that said, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for y'all attention. Y'all was a great class. Thank you.